Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria, and before we get into the cards, I just want to remind you that I am doing a free 6-week mentorship pilot, and I will leave the link to the application below. Essentially, I am offering sessions, 3 sessions over 6 weeks, as well as some things in between, that are in support of your inner masculine and feminine, of course, because that's what I talk about on this channel, but mostly just understanding and bringing awareness to particular energetic patterns that may be being a bit sneaky and suspicious in your energies, and how to move through that, and how we can continuously create action and awareness and embodiment of those energies, that we can actually create a life that's in alignment with where we want to be. So I still have 1 spot left, and I will say that it is pretty intense. So if you have done like personal development or any sort of personal healing or growth before in a setting of whether it's spiritual context or mental health, that's obviously really important and recommended, because I feel like I go pretty straight into the energies. So, but if you haven't, just still fill out the application and we'll see if it's a good fit. But yeah, I'm looking to fill that last spot. So if it feels right for you, I encourage you to apply. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say about that. If anything comes back up, I'll let you know. Let's get into the cards. I feel like this overwhelming energy of having to surrender right now. There's this aspect of the inner feminine energy that is working to continuously build trust with the masculine energy within. So that's understanding that maybe not all actions are acting out of scarcity anymore. Our inner masculines aren't working in development of strictly security. He is working in devotion to the vision and the mission that you or I have been here for. So our inner masculines are really developing self-trust in the ability to act in accordance to that energy instead of scarcity or security or comfort. And the feminine is still learning how to trust that energy. The feminine is surrendering to that energy, trusting that, we'll move when we're meant to move and we'll do when we're meant to do. And trusting that just as much as the feminine energy can connect to God's source universe and be able to channel the visions, be the source of the creation, the muse, the masculine energy is just as connected. And the difference is it's connected to the source, but it's connected to the earth. So the way that the information comes in doesn't seem as visual or audible as the feminine. It's a more of a deep knowing. It's a deep sense of knowing. I don't know if I have any other word for that. So that's really important, but I do feel the shift in the masculine being very devoted to the action and of self-trust and knowing, and also like this understanding of recognition towards the feminine, still learning to surrender, still learning to trust, and like he's okay with that. He's okay with that, and the feminine's just, along for the ride, trusting it as it goes, but it does seem like things aren't shifting as quickly as she may have hoped, but there is still this awareness of things have changed. She knows things are different. She knows things have changed. She's almost having to like reground herself, because the visions might not appear the same anymore, or she might not be getting the same visions or the same messages or insights. They might not be as clear. And if that's happening to you like it is to me, I would say that the feminine isn't losing the connection to the vision, it's that the vision is grounding. So keep that in mind. All right. I think I'm going to start just by pulling cards first of like, what do we need to know about the intricacies of the connection between the polarities right now? And then we'll see if that kind of breaks us up into masculine and feminine. But I feel like these energies are working very, very closely together. At least they are for me. And so if you resonate with that, I think the best way for us to go in this video is to pull based on that, the energy of them together instead of apart. They obviously still hold their own polarity, but I just feel like the energies are so intertwined right now that I'm not sure it really warrants having to pull separate cards, you know? All right, let's go. Let's go for what are the current energies within the masculine and feminine and messages to be received, yeah? Okay. One card at a time. I'm very picky when it comes to cards coming out. We'll start with 3. Oh shoot, I accidentally spilt water this morning and I got on these cards, so they are a bit sticky. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the 4 of Wands. Shoot. I don't think I'm made out to be this, like, online tarot reader. No, I'm not doing this for the tarot, I'm doing it for the energies, and sometimes it's just easier to ground with tarot and the ability to give a visual, so that's why I do it. But the energy here is movement. There is movement, and I'm almost getting there's this energy of actually embracing the higher calling, like I said for the masculine, but the feminine feeling like she's excited, like she's she sees the shifts, and yes, they might not be providing the security she used to beg for or chase, but she's understanding why life is happening the way it is, because there's an integration process I think that's happening that the feminine wasn't really aware needed to happen. How that's showing up for me is like my pilot program is like a really, really good example, because I used to do a lot of life coaching and relationship coaching and self-love coaching, and then I went into like energy healing and doing psychic readings and things like that, which I love. Like I also recall doing like mediumship readings. There were so many things I did, but this time is different because I'm coming into this mentorship program with a different set of tools, a different set of awareness, and embodiment. And how I'm relating to the energy that I just spoke about is I'm doing a pilot program because that's what my inner masculine told me we needed. And she's recognizing like, oh, it's too bad that we couldn't just kind of piggyback off of these previous services that we offered and just kind of make it a paid thing. But she's like, I understand why we're not doing that, because it is so different that we're learning a lot as we go through these, the weeks of mentorship through the pilot. Like this is just as much for us as we are providing for others that are in the container. If that makes sense. Like the pilot program just isn't to be able to offer free services to other people. There's things that we are also learning. And so she's really grateful for that. So she's understanding the movement in that sense, where it's okay, it didn't look exactly the way that I thought that we needed it in terms of security or predictability or consistency, but it's offering us so much more that we will be able to embrace in the future. And I think that's exactly what the Hierophant is too. There's like this awakening process that's kind of happening to how these energies co-create and the trust that is awakened between them. And the 4 of Wands is the security. Like it's almost like this higher understanding and this higher knowing of like, oh, like when we are able to surrender to the energy within, we are secure. Security isn't external from our being. It's the connection between our polarities where they actually come into union, and then we build from that security. So that's the energy I'm picking up there. But I'll post some more cards. Anything else we need to know? I don't know if maybe you're feeling this as well, but I do feel like there's a lot more energetic containment. So as the masculine, as our inner masculine energy steps into being very discerning about the actions that we take, it puts a higher level of value on the feminine energy, if that makes sense, because the boundaries are containment, right? They're the containment of love to be able to invest into relationships that can be balanced and can be reciprocal. And so there is this element of the feminine knowing like, oh, my physical reality is changing. So you might feel like things are maybe not completely visible, but you know that there's someone coming in, or you know that your relationships are shifting, or you know that the work that you're doing is shifting, and the masculine wants to be acknowledged for that. So make sure that you acknowledge this yourself for valuing your energy in a way that is in alignment to where you want to be. And if you, I hate to be this person, but if you want help with that, please apply for my free mentorship program. Okay. I just never thought I'd be like that. I'm just laughing because I'm just like, I'm really enjoying doing it, and I have one more spot that I want filled, so. Okay, 2 more cards, okay? One at a time, please. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, we got 5 of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Lovers. I think this is kind of just saying, like, what I just said is, like, even though the physical reality may not seem to be really shifting quickly because of this inner balance, because of this inner security, because these polarities are actually working together to bring balance, we are going to be experiencing shifts in relationships, and not just romantic connections, but relationship in terms of energy and reciprocity and balance, and being more available to the things that actually align to the energy we want to be in, investing in the things, the people, the projects that are aligned to this inner union. Yeah. This could be a physical person if you resonate with that. I just want to preface that when your energy is focused on bringing balance to connection with a physical person, whether romantic or partner, like friendship, whatever, it actually takes you out of that inner union. Because if we believed in our ability to be secure within ourselves, our feminine energy would not be needing to seek that. You would understand that the magnetism of our energy actually comes from being able to be grounded within ourselves. That's not to say that the feminine doesn't know if relationships are coming or going or meant to end or meant to begin, but it's to say that the masculine energy knows when those relationships will show up, so you can surrender to that and you don't have to overthink it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the trust factor. That's the trust that the feminine is still learning and still integrating. She's gotten a lot better, but she's still learning. And the masculine, our inner masculine, outer masculine energy, it knows when to move. So you'll know. You just got to trust that. So let go in that aspect. Come back to yourself. And if those thoughts keep coming up, if those things keep appearing in your head, you're allowed to have that inner dialogue. Like, okay, why is this showing up again? Because sometimes our inner feminine just wants to be heard. And sometimes there's deeper layers to the things that she's sensing. So if you ask her, like, why does this particular person keep coming to mind? Allow her to speak that, because there might be some information that the masculine needs to receive in that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for that. Yeah, these people don't keep showing up because it's like people or things don't constantly come into our consciousness to burden us. And I think the feminine sometimes believes that, like, why are you still here? Like, you're burdening our process, or I just want to be able to this to end or for this to come in, and tries to control the timing. But she has to realize that her intuition is not picking up on the timing. That's the masculine's job. She's picking up on the energy. So there might be messages that need to be fully received if you allow yourself to sit in that energy without attachment. Yeah. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, yeah. See, I think this is exactly what I just said. 4 of Swords and Knight of Swords. So moving out of that place of feeling like you're burdened by your own mind, burdened by your own intuition, and moving into a place of actually being able to bring that energy in and dissect it. I think the best example I have is, like, I was kind of testing my intuition one day, and I was like, okay, if I were to get a house, what would it look like? And I wasn't putting any sort of stipulations on it. I wasn't trying to think, like, if I were like a millionaire or billionaire, just like what house am I envisioning right now? And my inner masculine was asking questions, right? He was getting curious, he was involved in the vision, and he was like, "Okay, tell me about it." And my feminine was saying, "Oh, it's like this brick house, and it looks like a townhouse, and it has this many rooms. It has room for this. It has an office, and da 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 da." And she kept listing it, and he kept being engaged, right? Like it was like, "Okay, let's keep going, like get clearer and clearer and clearer." And then it was so crazy because then my feminine, the vision gave me a location, and it's not far from where I live right now. And he's like, "Okay," and then I just heard the guidance of like, "Hey, let's go on like online and see what houses are for sale." And the exact house I was picturing was on the website. So it's just a matter of like, you just never know what the feminine is meant to deliver. I don't know why that story was relevant anymore, but I just feel like there's always more when the feminine has the space to deliver the messages without attachment to the outcome. Because sometimes the masculine just needs to be able to process the information that she's able to provide, because it does get deeper. And that's why certain situations keep coming up, or that's why certain people keep coming to mind, is because there's something in that. Doesn't mean that there's a physical need for them to be in front of you, but there's an energetic message. Yeah. Anything else? Let's ask one more time. Yeah. Okay. The seeds are already planted. Just the ability to express them to ourselves and trust that is important. There's also this message of like the feminine trusting herself before needing external validation. So like this is a really deep dynamic between the inner masculine and feminine polarities, but essentially there's this broader lesson through all of this energy where it's talking about, yeah, Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. It talks about the energy just is reminding me of the Ace of Swords, or the Ace of Swords is reminding me of this energy. And I was pulling cards with a friend the other day, and she was like, "Pull it, like this staircase is like super significant." She kept saying that. She kept saying that, and now I feel it because I'm doing this video, and I'm like, "Okay, this feels like it," because the cycles, right? Things keep coming up for a reason. But what I was saying is the broader message is more so like healing the separation between the polarities takes time, but also there's an element of the feminine being able to express her visions, her insights, her intuition, her desires, and the masculine being able to trust that without forcing it to exist now or without having to act right away. I feel like personally I've been healing that a lot. I like wrote out a whole document, and maybe one day I'll share it, but I wrote out a whole document of like what the protocol is for my masculine when my feminine's intuition is speaking, because before I used to either think that I had to like force that outcome or prove that outcome or make it happen, and I had to learn like I don't need to make the outcome happen. It's already there. I just have to follow. The masculine just has to learn how to trust himself. So I hope that's helpful to you. I really love the messages that came through today. Please let me know if they resonate with you, or how so, or how they show up for you and your intuition and your relationship to yourself. Please check out the mentorship application. Like I said, it is quite a intense energy that comes through, and I only say that because I've already had a few calls with the other two women that I'm working with, and they have been quite deep. So just preface that it is kind of like an energetic surgical Ace of Swords here into the mind, into the energetics that you're experiencing and how to shift that. And there is an expectation of action that comes along with the mentorship as well. So implementing the things that we talk about. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm sending you so much love, and have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you all soon.